Alright everybody, hello. Been a while since I've done any sort of Let's Play-ish format, but there's a special reason for this one. Today we are going to be checking out Object Ward, a visual novel I have been following the development of for 5 years at least. The game's been in development for 6 years, but I know for sure at least 5 years I've been following the development of it, and it is finally here. So I am very excited to finally give this a shot. So if you aren't aware, Object Ward is, like I said, it's a visual novel. It's an 18+ visual novel. Let me get that out of the way. So there's going to be not childish stuff in here, but that's one of the reasons I'm doing it as a Let's Play format rather than a stream, because even though there is a streamer-friendly mode, given the comedic nature of this, I want to be able to fully experience just the wacky shenanigans in its entirety. So I will be obviously, censoring out the stuff that won't be on YouTube, but that's all the more reason for you to check it out for yourself if you are old enough. That is the important part. Again, this is an 18+ story. Yeah, I want to get those disclaimers out of the way right now. That being said, though, the main premise of this game is, actually, let me just read straight from the store description, because, yeah. Meet Manson Moss, a schizophrenic man who sees everyone with an inanimate object for a head. Due to a certain incident, he is sentenced to mandatory rehabilitation in one of New York's most ill-managed psych wards in the year 1986. He plots his escape, but the eccentric occupants of the ward can't let him leave, so they get a little friendly with him instead. Help Manson navigate love, psychosis, countless misadventures in this dark comedy visual novel Object Ward. Yeah, I have played Thugzilla's other visual novels in the past. One I didn't do any sort of Let's Play recording of, called Pumpkin Eater. That's a nice short visual novel. Highly recommend that one. It's a nice horror visual novel. The other one I did do on a stream when that released, Amare in Verses, which is more of a psychological thriller. And then we've got Object Ward, which is about, it's a batshit crazy comedy. Like, Thugzilla even admitted that a big inspiration was Ren and Stimpy, just to give you an idea of the sort of comedy we're going for here. Yeah, that said, it is 18+, as you can see here. Heavy discussions on, like animal cruelty, bullying, child abuse, depression, gaslighting, hallucination, self-harm, suicide attempts, substance abuse, trauma, and mental illness. But yes, obviously proper research and care was taken for these contents. And yes, this is technically a bisexual visual novel, with a higher preference for males, but there are some female options, which, as a straight man, I appreciate. I appreciate that there are female options here. As the description said, and the whole gimmick is that everyone has objects for heads, which object heads are apparently a big thing, like subculture and such, but I feel like Object Ward is the only one I feel actually has a decent enough explanation for how it is, since, did it say here? Yeah, that Manson is schizophrenic, so that's the explanation, and that was the hook that drew me into it. So yeah, I'm very, very interested to see how this goes. So yeah, the link will be in the description. It's only $20. That, I'd call that a fair price, especially just given the circumstances of how lengthy this is and how long it took to make. I think that's more than worth the price. But anyway, I think I've done enough yapping. What do you say we actually get into actually playing the darn thing? So yeah, I love the title screen here. Man, that'd be so nice if you could actually like click on these, but I don't know, that's just me being a little extra, I suppose is the best way to put it. So yeah, anyway, enough talking. Let us actually get into the playing.
The human mind is a strange thing.
Is it now?
A complex 3-pound organ that determines who we are before birth. Movement, thoughts, personality, mental disorders, even death. All caused by that gray mass in our noggin.
Yeah, when you put it like that, very simple.
It's so intricate. Scientists are still researching it today. Why do people act this way and not that way? Why does she believe she's a unicorn? Why does he cry so much?
Good questions.
It's all a mystery. And I have one of the most puzzling ones.
Oh yeah.
I never asked for this brain. But here we are. The life I was born into. Far beyond my control.
Oh yes. Again, I've been following this game's development for a while, and so I am very much familiar with our protagonist and how his mind is an interesting one. Hey, why are all your heads so weird? Get away from me. All I wanted was a nice smoke in the park, and look what happened. Sir, put down the bat. Oh boy. Yeah, I did play the demo when that released a few years ago, but it's been a while, so yeah, but some of this is starting to come back to me. No, I don't wanna. The aliens started it, didn't they? That's why you can't trust them. Sir, shut your pie hole, badgehead. Wanna be whacked around next? Oh boy, threatening an officer. Great start. Oh, is that a gun I see? I ain't scared. I'll be on TV, won't I? How about a little morning, eh? A mooning, eh? Yeah, you shot me in the ass. I forgot about that. Yeah. I'll sue all of you. Yeah, now this is all coming back to me. Hands off. I'm not in that kind of mood right now. Or maybe a little bit. A man in uniform. Wow. Just a little farther down. Gah! Oh. Just get inside. Oh, great. And you're getting blood all over the back seat. Yeah, that's usually what happens. Manson Moss. 5'4", 117 pounds. Date of birth, January 11th, 1961. A cell? Bah. You all will release me in a week anyway. Mr. Moss, I'm your defense attorney, hired by the state. Before we start, I have to ask you several questions. Now you're giving me a mental evaluation? You know, it's only the aliens' fault, affecting me with their mumbo-jumbo mind manipulation that everyone has some object for a head. Yeah, what's the lawyer? Yeah, I can't tell what his head's supposed to be. Like you, a stapler head. Paranoid schizophrenia? What's that? Hey, Judge, give me back my tinfoil hat or I'll bite you. It's the only thing that protects me from the psychic waves. As you can see, Judge, he is not competent enough to defend himself in court. Shut up! You suited men don't know what I'm going through. Sir, I'm trying to help you. Please remain quiet. Yeah, the judge has this. Yeah, I know. That's always what I found fascinating about this is, yeah, like figure out or seeing what everyone's object head is. And yeah, he's got the scales. Mr. Moss, do you know why you're here? Self-defense. Now let me out of these handcuffs. I'm afraid I cannot. Your records say you've been in and out of juvenile detention and county jail almost on a weekly basis for a concerningly large amount of legal violations such as disturbing the public peace, petty theft, breaking and entering, possession of narcotics, vandalism, disorderly conduct, and public indecency, just to name a few. This is our protagonist, everybody. You practically used our legal code's restrictions as a to-do list. So, according to the testimonies of everyone that was present, including victims and police, that wasn't self-defense you committed in the park. You have been convicted of assault and possession of non-lethal weapon. The prison system has never worked for you. Mason Alexander Moss, you are hereby found not guilty by reason of insanity. Sweet! You'll be institutionalized in Clark County Psychiatric Ward for mental rehabilitation. That is all. Wait, a psychiatric ward? I said I'm not crazy. Don't send me to that loony bin. Mr. Moss, calm down. Oh, Mr. Moss, calm down. Should we call the police again? Unhand me! Unhand me! Ooh, pretty stars. Oh, Manson. And that is what the transcripts say, Mr. Moss. Ah, yes. Acevedo and Priscilla. The best boy and best girl. The pill bottle-headed man passed me a lengthy record as I was laying in the ward's bed. The nurses had dug the bullet out, but the pain in my rear still hadn't gone away. My lingering headache was equally nasty. That explains why I'm here now. I remember it as if it were yesterday. Because it was yesterday. It was too much of a blur for me to confirm. All I remember is I was yelling at the park, yelling at a scale and stapler-headed man, and even more yelling as soon as I woke up. How else was I supposed to react to these monsters in front of me? 5 minutes later. 5 minutes later. Gah! What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Miss Priscilla, come in here. There was no mouth on him, yet he was speaking. Is this hell? Or have I finally been abducted by aliens? I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I pressed my back against the wall, but there was nowhere to move. My fists balled up, ready to hit any target that came an inch closer. Besides the pill-headed man was a syringe-headed woman, with the sharpest needle I have seen in my life. Oh, any more movement and this may sting a bit. Alright, I yield. Why has everyone been so sedative happy recently? It took forever to get rid of the initial shock of trying to figure out what was going on. What replaced it was simply confusion. Pill whispered to Syringe, but their voices were still loud enough to be heard. While they were conversing, I examined them more closely. Despite him introducing himself earlier as a doctor, he wasn't dressed in a stereotypical lab coat, but in fact in extremely professional garb. Pill was shuffling through a large stack of papers he held, while Syringe shrugged and quickly glanced at me. Or at least I believe she was. She had no eyes after all. I beg to differ. I see 2 eyes, closed eyes, right in front of her. Or unless those are supposed to be eyebrows. Though she had a dangerous-looking head, her body was rather voluptuous, and her red stockings complemented her pale skin very well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I prefer men more, but... Hello, nurse! Human hands? Check. Human skin tone? Check. Human voice? Check. Both were completely normal except for their heads. Look, we don't want what happened at the park and courtroom again. So if he continues to lash out, we lock him in temporary isolation? You could have put it more politely, but yes, we've already received the records about his mental state. Pill's voice was thick with a foreign accent. It was tough to make out some words, but not as much as the raspy sing-song voice of Syringe. Do I really have to deal with him? For the last time, yes. It's your job, is it not? I have over 200 people and their paperwork to manage, so now I'll have 201? This has been a complete waste of my day so far, and I want none of it. Look at them talk in front of me, as if I'm some wild animal. I'm not. In annoyance, I loudly cleared my throat. Ah, right. Pardon my rude behavior. They say his name is Acevedo, I know that, so I'm guessing he's more Hispanic. That's my guess. So I will try my best to do a Hispanic accent. Pill put down his large stack of papers and straightened his tie. How about a proper introduction now that we've all calmed down? I don't believe that's Hispanic, but I'm rolling with it. It's a foreign accent. Right, calmed down. My heart was still pounding in my chest from this surreal scenario. Standing up, Pill stuck out his hand in a hopeful attempt to lighten the stiff mood. I returned only a frown. My name is Dr. Antonio Acevedo, and I'm here to help you. Help? He eagerly gestured towards Syringe, who was beginning to file her nails. And the very important woman right next to me is the head nurse of this establishment, Priscilla Harbinger. Yo. You are currently residing in the town of Clark County, New York. Specifically, its renowned psychiatric hospital. I'm completely butchering this, I don't care. Though many hospitals have a mental health section, this complex here is only for patients with conditions such as psychotic or personality disorders. How many times have I told you people recently I'm not a loony? The judge should be thrown in here, not me. Mr. Moss, you are not a loony. There's no reason for you to use such words. Then what would you call me? Someone in need of guidance and assistance. You've been sent here on court orders for mental rehabilitation. And we're gonna spend a delightful time together, singing in a circle, knitting like grandmas, and of course, talking about all our problems. Behave. But was I wrong? The doctor crossed his arms and shook his head, his wrapper crinkling in lieu of a frowning face. God, that's creepy. I know, I'm so fascinated by how all the objects are able to express emotion. That's been one of my favorite things about looking at the behind the scenes stuff. Indeed you were. There's many different types of therapy. In order for our progress to occur, Mr. Moss, I will be your psychiatrist and therapist for these next few weeks, months, or however long it will take. We'll be working together. And now a personal psychiatrist. The ones that force feed you pills to control your mind. Any trust that he could have gained from me was immediately thrown out the window. My hands balled into a fist again. The doctor scribbled something on his clipboard before looking back at me. Is everything else okay? Do I have something non-human for my head, as your transcripts say? Object heads, you refer to them as. And now he wants me to answer? What is he thinking? Wanting to get friendly with me after how he acted earlier? But the threat of another sedative stabbing me was a motivation to be somewhat cooperative. Yeah, you do. Pill bottle. The doctor's shoulders shook up and down in amusement, and of course, his top wrapper moved the same. Again, he hastily scribbled. Oh my, that's quite interesting. We'll start our sessions in a couple of days. You'll have to go to group therapy, as Miss Priscilla was mentioning before, but my door is always open if you'll need someone to talk to. I'll send a nurse to explain the details later. Why should I go to therapy, though? I can take care of myself on my own, so let me leave. Due to your unpredictability and temper, you're classified as a danger to society, so I would say yes, you have to. Oh, I didn't mean it in such a negative way. Don't give me that glare, Mr. Moss. I meant that once you have been observed to be improving and self-sufficient, you may receive my signature to leave, but during your time here, you'll have to obey all the staff. I have no doubt that you'll be just fine. I've helped many patients here, but so there's nothing to fret about. Do you have any family, Mr. Moss? I couldn't find much information about them. I would like to let them know where you're staying in case they'll want to visit. Nope. Ah, I'm sorry for asking. And one last thing, I've been told about your livelihood for the past decade. I rolled my eyes. It's alright, our hospital has met multiple programs to help patients gain their lives and jobs back. Just keep your chin up. The doctor stood up from his chair and stretched out his arms with a groan. Well, I believe this is all the time I have for today. I have to check up on other patients now. Miss Priscilla here will guide you around the hospital if you're up to it. Dinner is coming soon, so you'll have to know where you'll be eating. Ho. Sure. Let me finish filing my pinkies. My legs were aching to leave the hard bed, and the thought of staring at the syringe woman's behind was pleasant enough reward. I'm glad his mind's in the right place. I suppose I've nothing better to do. That's the spirit. Please be comfortable with your stay and enjoy the tour. You'll most certainly make friends here. And don't worry about filing out paperwork either. Our staff here has it all under control. Pfft, friends. If I don't leave this hellhole first. Anything else you would like to say? My ass hurts. The hospital staff is equally apologetic, but you refused to put down the batch, so the police had no choice but to use their bullets. The sensation may be uncomfortable, but should go away in several days. Let me know if the pain otherwise persists. I'm a doctor for your mental health, and I know how to take care of every patient that walks into my office. I'll be right by your side every step of the way. I see great hope in you, Mr. Moss. I just know it. All three of us stepped outside the bedroom. The doctor walked away from us, cheerfully humming and waving goodbye. Despite our impromptu meeting, he was awfully kind. It's been made very clear Acevedo is a very good guy. He's not that bad. Maybe. Just maybe. I still don't trust this man that has suddenly appeared in my life with a weird-ass head telling me I'm locked up because I'm sick in the mind. Stupid doctors telling me what to do. This is why I hated them. Priscilla pointed her thumb in the opposite direction with a dramatic flair, interrupting my grumbling. This way, hon. We don't have all day. It's tour time, and you're stuck with me. That head nurse and her attitude wasn't much better. Priscilla's high heels rounded off the linoleum floors, forcing me to rapidly shuffle my Velcro shoes to keep up. Wait, Velcro? I remembered before passing out that I was wearing sneakers. Looking down, my original prison uniform was replaced by an itchy sweater and ill-fitting sweatpants. Indeed, soft white shoes were fast secured to my feet. Fantastic. As I wondered how my shirt changed, and who changed me, I passed some signs on a wall. The first sign had nothing but a disgustingly long list of red X's with pictures by the side. No belts, no laced shoes, no ripped clothing. The others hardly caught my eye, but there were undoubtedly more rules. Sheesh, this place really is a prison. I continued to squint at the papers till I heard Priscilla's heels impatiently tapping. I ran to catch up with her. Yep, those are the rules. Having fun so far? Absolutely kick-ass. It was quite a surprise you gave us this morning, but I like your spunk, hon. Don't cause any more trouble, or you'll be just fine. And you'll be just fine. Or I'll use my trusty needle. Priscilla motioned to various rooms and hallways, explaining their significance and use. These are the showers. These are the doctor's offices. This is the common room where I'll eat, etc. Staring at her mini dress this entire time was even better than I expected. Yep, that's about 80s fashion for you. Short dress and long stockings. You're only allowed to go to the common room on your own. Everywhere else you should be escorted by a nurse or staff member. How come? A variety of reasons, but it's easier to keep an eye on people and make sure they don't end up in harm's way. Even the bathroom? That's right. How could someone get hurt there? I could list for hours all the ways to. Yeah, I could think of several off the top of my head. The mirror alone could cause a lot of issues. All the hallways we continued to pass appeared the same, and if it were not for the occasional sign or stairway, one would think we were walking in circles. Priscilla constantly used the skeleton key to unlock each and every one. How could she keep track of everything so well? I'll need a floor plan to even use the restroom. Guess that's why she's the head nurse, years upon years of working here. Every so often, a patient or even a group of them entered a room or shuffled through the hallways, always guided by a nurse. Other times, a lone security guard casually smoked a cigarette. I believe it. Like Priscilla, Dr. Acevedo, and the chaos that happened the other day, everyone in front of me had an inanimate object for a head. Made in iron. Cute. Some had commonplace heads such as TVs, while others had more peculiar ones like candles or darts. Interesting. Could I use them to watch TV or possibly smoke a cigarette-headed person? You could try. The possibilities were tempting, not to mention I could really use some tobacco at the moment. Kent? All of a sudden, a door that we passed slowly creaked open. Oh, Jones. A muscular man, built like a professional football player with clothes practically bursting at the seams, poked his head out the crack. He gripped the door frame, completely towering over me. I've never seen someone so tall in my life before. He had an amusing object at the top of his neck, a red and white drawing board with 2 knobs attached to it. The board was blank, but the top part was warped in some emotion I couldn't read. Is he upset with me? Enraged? The giant and I stared at each other, waiting to see who would break gaze or speak first. I didn't have that kind of patience, though his intimidating presence made my voice sound more like squeaks of a mouse. Hey, buff guy, what do you want? The door could have broken my nose with how quickly he slammed it shut. Before I could register what happened, Priscilla gestured to the plaque hanging next to the door. That's Jones Carvey. He's a patient you'll be going to group therapy with, alongside everyone in this hallway. He's been staying here a couple of years, so don't mind him. He's harmless. Years? That's right, years. What was the age he was admitted here again? 18, 19? It's allowed, you know. Not for the rest of their lives, but if there's room and a proper reason. Why so long? Is he forcibly hospitalized like me? I never managed his case, and it's been a while since I've cared to ask. You can always ask the other patients, or Jones himself, if he'll ever open the door again. I will be your psychiatrist and therapist for these next few weeks, months, or however long it will take. I grimaced from the thought of ending up like Jones. By the way, since I took a long look at your file with Antonio before you were dropped here, what kind of head do you see me as? Syringe. Ooh, cool. Does this mean I can impale people if I run at them? How should I know? Is she making fun of me? How did she get hired here in the first place? Scurrying past us was a man in nurse scrubs, and for his head, scissors, equally as sharp as Priscilla's needle. Ah, here's someone you can bug. He skittled to a stop, holding a large stack of papers. Priscilla eagerly skipped closer. Oh, hello there. I haven't seen you before. And hello, Miss Priscilla. Are you giving the new patient a tour? Mm-hmm. The head nurse put her right hand on her hips while again pointing to the man in front of us. This is Kent Goodman. Run to him if you need anything. Can do. I'll make sure your stay here is as welcoming as possible. How so? We can throw a welcome party, or I can introduce you to the other patients here, or anything really. That's what I'm known for. Not to mention he's a master at massaging shoulders and feet. Hey! Now that is an adorable, scissor-headed man. I smiled. Now that's a first since I've been here. I help run some of the group therapy sessions, so if our schedules can coincide, I'll gladly sit next to you if you'd like. Let me guess, it's as bad as Priscilla said? Not at all. It's a fantastic way for us to all bond together. We're right next to the one currently in session. Take a look. I approached the door's window that Kent was pointing to. Several grumpy members were sitting in a circle in silence, greatly boosting my enthusiasm about the extra therapy I'll have to attend. See? I can't wait for you to join. Yeah, sure. Yeah, again, I love how, all the object heads, like, express emotion. Like, the little, like, lower eyelids for Kent's scissor eyes. And then, the mouth and stuff like that. Yeah, or, like, I see Priscilla's, like, needle occasionally change. Like, I love, like, I will admit that is a cool thing about the whole concept of object heads, is just showing different emotions. I do like that a lot. Oh, goody. Mr. Goodman, a patient is looking for you. Ah, then I know who it is. Jones. Toodles, I have some more errands to run, if you could excuse me. Kent waved us goodbye, already back to scurrying, while Priscilla dragged me by my sweater's collar. That's hot. By the way, that was good old reliable Bella. Don't worry, she's not important.
Don't talk to her, she's not part of the game.
However, we're getting behind on schedule. Let's see, we covered a majority of the third floor and ran to the men's section. And the second floor and the women's section is practically the same, so let's walk to the first floor. I love that. Oh yeah, Thugzilla did mention that a lot of the background characters are like fan designs, so that's pretty cool. Like, let's see, we got, Coin, a token. I can't see who's that behind Priscilla, but there's somebody there. But we got a drink shaker for our head. I love that. Since we're now back to the first, here's the receptionist lobby. I couldn't believe it. The exit was only a couple feet away, and behind those glass panels were the parking lot and the street. Freedom from these weirdos and hospital was almost in my grasp. Blocking it, however, was a large guard. You'll need a signature from your doctor to leave. The staff will validate it quite closely. Yeah, I can imagine how that could go wrong. I can tell what you're thinking, hun. Unless you want to be tackled by him, I recommend staying put. So, we only have a little bit left to cover, so let's continue down the hallway. Again and again, we pass cloned rooms upon cloned rooms. A closed-down chapel, closed-down office or two, closed-off section of the hospital that was apparently too dangerous to visit. A lot of closed-down things. What a lovely and well-maintained place I found myself in. I've seen downtown alleyways less risky than this. Oh, don't worry about all the condemned parts. We send men to fix them once in a while. However, the further we made our way down the hall, the more something felt off. Okay, more voice acting. Manson. My name? But that wasn't Priscilla's voice I just heard. Come over here. No, it can't be. The voices are back. Didn't this happen at the park? I fought back against the voices that took on object head forms, and look where I ended up. I need to change my strategies. I gripped my head and shook it, trying to ignore them. They'll go away eventually. I'm fine. I'm fine. Stupid aliens. I really need to remake my tinfoil hat soon. What's up? Nothing that concerns you. Are you sure? I said I'm fine. Just continue the tour. If you say so. The tour resumed while I again pretended the increasingly throbbing headache and disembodied voices were non-existent. It was the farthest thing from easy. It sounded like 3 women were hollering at the very top of their lungs. Yep, again, I've seen the behind the scenes. I know where this is going. Priscilla stopped in front of a thick door. This is where security is stationed. They'll walk around in all hours of the day, making sure everyone is obeying hospital rules. When they aren't available, there's usually someone watching the security cameras inside. Meeting this party animal is only available when you're touring with me. Aren't you special? She banged on the metal door, brushing off some imaginary dust from her dress. Hey Randall, open up! Say hello to our newest resident here. The room inside remained silent, so she knocked a couple more times. Bah! Don't tell me he's out cold again. Just after she sighed and started to walk away, the door flung open. Heavy boots stomped behind us. Yes! I honestly didn't know what I expected. A tall, burly man with a pistol for a head walked out. My nose crinkled at the heavy booze and cologne smell in the air. Randall! I'm taking this patient on a tour. Say hello. Hello. She patted the motionless guard on the back, ignoring the fact he looked ready to topple at any second. Haha! A comedian as always. Never change, Vandy. Trust me, this great son of a gun does a stupendous job. Haha. As long as he's motivated, good work as usual. Thanks. Wow, regardless of his odd head and monotone voice, he was still a physically attractive man. His well-toned muscles fit perfectly with his uniform. Although the buttoning was sloppy, it showed small glimpses of his thick chest hair. Anything else you need me for? Not at the moment. Let me know if you're free later, hon. Back to the cameras. Okie dokie. I'll be waving to you on camera 16. Yes, Priscilla. I love Priscilla. She is such a tease. She trudged back into the room and closed the door once more. Manson, we know you can hear us. By now, my headache was completely unbearable. I should have known something was up as soon as I was awake. All I wanted is to lay down and not think about who's trying to talk in my brain. Like, seriously, stop ignoring us? This is important, we swear. Hey, Priscilla, I'm ready to go back to my room. I'll figure out the rest on my own. As you wish. You'll need the rest for the busy day tomorrow. How busy we talking? Several hours of paperwork you'll have to file, hon. I thought you said the ward took care of it. They took care of things like suings and hospital bills from the victim. You caused plenty of property damage, too. You'll have to fill in who you are and what your treatment plan with Antonio here. Believe me, I don't want to do the filing work either. I was aware, clear as day. Maybe it could wait another week. For another 5 minutes, we walked around the hospital's maze before finally reaching my room. Mr. Manson Moss, I do believe this room is yours. If you'll excuse me, I'll be going on my smoke break with Randall. The clicking of her high heels were now far in the distance. What an absolutely bizarre woman. I was now free to open my room, though. Bed, here I come. I told you I'll say hello first. But I was the one talking to him the longest. I'm more special. But I'm the cutest. He'll like me the best. Excuse me, I'm cuter. Come on, you two. Didn't we all agree to stop being the leader? It's my responsibility. 3 women I've never met in my life were arguing in my room. A lamp, a mirror, and a chair were attached to each of their necks. The hell? Did Priscilla know about this? Who are you? What are you doing in my room? Woo! Oh, he's here. He's here. Yeah. Ow! I should have ran out of the room while I still had the chance. The blink of an eye, I was jumped on by the furniture heads, each having their own way of poking and prodding at my sides. Ooh, it's so good to finally see you. We've been trying to get in contact with you for the longest time. How'd your day go? Did you tell Acevedo to stick it where it hurts yet? Don't forget about me. Hey, stop yanking on my hair. But it's so soft. Tell me your secrets. Sexy too. I just want to rub my hands all over you. Out! I said get out! How dare you treat your friends like that? Hold the motherfucking phone. Friends? Yeah? What else? Why else would we be here? Oh, no. This can't be happening. I don't have any friends, especially those that don't understand what personal space is. The trio took a step back. Not like that, you dumbasses. I meant outside the... Okay, yeah, that's peeking. Not like that, you dumbasses. I meant outside the... You never answered me. Why are you in my room? How do you know me? Well, Manson's being mean. Don't worry, he'll come to his senses soon. You've been our friend for the longest time, ever since we could remember. How do you not know? So meeting you here is a long-awaited reunion. Aren't you glad? I don't care. I have a headache, and all you three are doing is pissing me off further. Are you guys gonna leave on your own, or am I gonna have to remove you? We refuse. We spent all this time preparing to welcome you, and this is how you treat us? I want to make our time worthwhile. Please let us stay a little longer. How about a minute? Half a minute. Force it is. You wouldn't dare. I'm not afraid to hit a woman either. It's 3-on-1. And I'll hit you twice as hard. Fighting's in my blood. Ha ha ha. Me too. My nails dug into my hands. Must you really engage with him in this manner? We're better than this. He insulted our hospitality. Do you think I can let him get away with that? Manson, listen to me. I don't want to do this. As soon as Mira laid her hand on my shoulder, I grabbed it and threw her back. With how light Mira was, she practically went flying. Lamp and chair stared. So be it. Gah! My back banged against the bed frame. In retaliation, a flailing scratch of mine sent Lamp to the floor, gripping her head. Yeah! My eye, what did you do to my eye? Their movements weren't hard to figure out. Mira rarely threw a fist, preferring to observe the chaos. Chair threw everything she got at me, but her slapping and kicking was as weak as a toddler's. Lamp packed the meanest punch, but her wailing signaled she was already out of the ring. 1 down, 2 to go. Kicking Lamp out of the way, I grappled Chair into a headlock. Wah! No fair! Let me go! Let me go! I chuckled from her feeble efforts. If only she had a mouth to bite me to escape this position. Not so tough now, are you? Mira had stuck her foot under mine without me noticing. You sneaky bit! It tripped both Chair and I, driving us towards the window. Chair, who was still stuck in my grasp, but very shield-like, partially slammed through the window panes and bars. Ow. The noises of our scuffle should have attracted at least some of the nurses or security's attention by now, but at this point I hardly cared. Headache? What headache? I'm feeling so alive. I'll fight everyone that comes my way. Already Chair was down for the count. I pumped my fists up. This fight was way too easy. Really? That was all you got? And you were acting so tough earlier. 2 down, 1 to go. The adrenaline coursing inside me was nothing of the glass shards protruding from my forearms. I locked into my next target, Mirror, who was charging at me. Ha! Yep. You're too slow, you hunk of glass. Driving my foot into her face quickly took care of her. She won't bother me, not to mention stand for a while. I knew this wasn't a good idea. This is why I should have been leader. I triumphantly stood over the 3 groaning women, practically craning my ears for the sweet, sweet sound of defeat. How's that for a welcome gift? I told you I wasn't afraid to hit you. Ugh. What? Why is my eye? Oh, do I hear around too? Oh wow, yeah, she's a little hurt. She turned to face me in that moment. My blood froze. Inside the lamp's claw-like tear was a void. No blood, no brains, nothing organic to be found. What? All present in the room let out a chorus of screams. What the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? Why are my arms on the floor? I'm a human! Oh my god, my face is everywhere! It doesn't even hurt. I'm human! I'm human! No, you're not. What was left of my already dwindling rationality and sanity flew out the window. I collapsed to the floor, using every cell in me to process what in the ever-living hell was going on. When did people start breaking apart like literal furniture? I mean, I thought it was strange how weak and light they were, but this wasn't possible. Unless... Were you the voices I heard in the hallway before? I glanced at Chair's splintered arm, the wood missing from her head, and back up to the beat, chairless desk in my room. That was the only explanation. The women in front of me weren't real. They were all figments of my imagination, and I just had a fist fight with 3 pieces of my own furniture. But that just opened up a new can of worms. If my furniture were talking to me, does this mean that Dr. Acevedo and the rest of the people I met today weren't real? Yeah, one thing I absolutely do like is how, because we're in the perspective of a guy who's clearly not mentally well, it's like we actually get to experience these questions firsthand. I do absolutely like that. Like, that is one thing Thugzilla is really good at when it comes to writing protagonist characters, is all the characters are messed up. All the main characters are messed up, and it shows off very well in the writing. Like, okay, we've got a horror story, we've got a thriller story, and now we've got a dark comedy. So, different genres of crazy people, and I love them all. They were actually pill bottles and guns I spent... They were actually pill bottles and guns I spent an entire day talking with? How did I get here then? Was it by an inanimate object or a human? What about that judge? Was he responsible? No, he could have been inanimate. Or maybe it was the aliens again. What if they were made up too? Someone, anyone, please explain. Answer me. How much of this is real? Am I an inanimate object? Who else is inanimate? What do I do now? I want to wake up from this nightmare. The world was spinning around me while my headache came back in full force, amplifying my anguish. Ah! I see how it is. Look at him squirm. It's quite amusing. Brushing off the now settling dust, the furniture women stood up. Why aren't you real? I don't know. Why don't you explain the reason for our creation? He doesn't understand yet. What a pitiful fool. You did this to me. It's all your fault. Says the horrible mutilator. We won't forget what you've done to us either. Don't fret too much, dear sister. You know he'll need us sooner or later. By the way, that was 7 years of bad luck for breaking my face. Goodbye, Manson. Need you? Hey, come back! In the blink of an eye, they were gone, leaving only broken wood and glass littering the ground. I shakily gripped the bed frame to pull myself up. Get a hold of yourself, Manson. They're gone. All they wanted to do was mess with your mind. Next to my foot was a large shard, large enough to see my reflection in. That's an object-headed Manson looking straight at me. I crushed it. Now a nervous pillowhead was staring at me from the bed. I didn't see anything. Hello, Manson? 3 down, 3 down, 3 down, 1 to go, 3 down, 1 to go, 3 down, 1 to go, 3 down, 1 to go. Eek! I tackled her, bringing her body dangerous close to the window's ledge. We're 3 stories above the ground. The only thing down below is pavement. Pillow gripped the window frame for her life to maintain balance. Not for long, she would. Let's talk it out, Manson. Listen to me. I'm human, and it's wrong to commit murder. I don't believe you. Who are you? Dorothy. I'm Dorothy Smith, your roommate. Have mercy. Why didn't anyone tell me sooner? It was recent. They just changed the plaque outside. Read it if you doubt me. So what are you here for then? Depression and delusions. I know how you feel, Manson, so don't do this. I'm real, just like you. I gritted my teeth, but her soft and frightened voice was getting to me. I felt my grip on her loosen slightly. She definitely wasn't acting like those furniture women, but it could be a trap. Well, this real bull isn't cut and dry anymore, is it? I have more questions, so keep answering. If you're telling me the truth, why is there only 1 bed? A mistake by the ward? Oh, how convenient. There's only 1 bed. Why are we roommates if there's only 1 bed? And with a woman? Are you my pillow, so you're fake too? Not at all. Look, there's a pillow on the bed already. It really was a mistake by the ward. You already know this place is in poor condition, and Priscilla's a lousy manager, so we were accidentally roomed. They're gonna fix it soon. I'm your ally here. Who else will believe you? My hands shoved her forwards. For a couple seconds, a loud splat was heard on the ground. Sorry, not good enough for me. You know, I remember that being a choice in the demo. I remember it being a choice to push her out the window, thug. What the hell? So any other pieces of trash that want to rear their ugly heads? Footsteps came rushing in the door. Christ almighty, give me a break. Must be the staff finally investigating all the screaming. How understaffed is this place for them to take this long? They seriously should have been here an hour ago. Wait, they'll see the window I broke. I placed myself in front of it as the 2 object-headed men ran inside. Oh no. How about you 2? Real or not? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm sorry I'm late. As soon as I heard the noises, I came running. Is everything alright? Yep, nothing to see here, Scissor Man. He gawked at my scraped limbs. I whistled. Scissors? Alright then. Yell again if you need me. Come on, sweetie. Dinner's starting soon. I heard some sounds coming outside too, and I need to investigate. I hope no one is hurt. Sir, you can come down to eat whenever you'd like. He gently shut the door, and footsteps disappearing shortly. How big is Manson that he was able to cover the window? It's over. It's over, right? Not forever. I had to get out of here, away from all this madness and confinement. Escape, find my real handmade shelter, grab my tinfoil hat, and everything would soon return to normalcy again. I'm already having a miserable time, so there's no reason I'd want to spend a minute longer than I have to. The voices and people can't follow me forever, and if they did, I'd have to fight to my very last breath once more once I'm prepared. Come on, Manson, think. You're a clever guy. What's your escape plan? Use the windows? Possible. The window is too high to jump from without breaking my neck, and the sheet's too short to rappel down. All the doors in this damn place required a key, or security or nurses were around every corner. Could I even do this alone? I don't want anything to do with these monsters, but do I even have a choice? Yeah, you kind of push your only ally out the window. A breeze blew through the cracked windows, the cold air mitigating some of my fury. Felt nice for spring. Too nice. I just want to be back on the streets again. Being cooped up was never my thing. If I need to think more about my escape, then I should at least try to sleep as much as I can. I'll recover my energy tomorrow. I fell face down into the itchy, creaky bed, still groaning from pain. Well, today couldn't have been more bizarre. I almost wish I could have experienced something half as absurd in my life, so I could process this. Anyone would have done the same in my shoes, right? Yes, they would. I'm always right. Let me try sorting the problem out again. My furniture, my honest-to-God furniture, and my room was alive, yet not alive. They could talk and move, but fell apart like inanimate objects, because they were always inanimate objects. How do I know everyone else in the ward isn't the same way? There's a 50-50 chance that people here are either alive or inanimate, and the only way I can tell the difference is by punching and cutting everything in sight. Inanimates don't bleed, and any damage taken on their head is reflected upon their body. That's easy enough to do, but obviously has no repercussions whatsoever. These hallucinations aren't that bad though, irritating at most, so there's no reason for the doctors and nurses to throw me in the loony bin. What just happened was only my imagination being a little bit silly due to those extraterrestrials, but I managed to fend them all off. I wasn't scared, not one bit. I wish people believed me about the aliens though. I swear to fuck if that's the big plot twist of this, is that the aliens actually exist. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I doubt that that's the direction we're gonna go, but I would be so, that would be so fucked. I could see that being a joke ending. Thug has confirmed there are joke endings. I could see that being a joke ending now that I said that out loud. I ran my fingers through my tangled hair again, starting from my scalp to my shoulders. Further consolation to my sanity was the swaying of a familiar brown color at the corner of my eyes. Then I moved to touching my facial features. My nose protruded from my skull, my eyebrows wiggled, and my skin retained its softness. Finally, I glanced at my arm slowly scabbing. At least I was bleeding like a human. Everything was still there. I've done this countless times today after seeing my reflection in the remains of a mirror woman, compulsively feeling my face to make sure I wasn't one of them. I don't want to be a rubber duck. So that's his object head, is a rubber duck. There's only one thing fear I most in the world. Ducks. The way they waddle, the way they quack. There was always something so sinister about them. One of those rubber toy bastards is attached to my neck. It's not real. It's not real. I need to touch my face again to make sure. I love my hair, my purple eyes, my bags that refuse to disappear no matter how much I sleep. Yeah, I can relate. I can never rest more than 4 hours a night anyway, but all the thinking and chaos today completely wore me out. Have I really been up all night worrying about the object heads? A watch was not on me to read the exact time, but the darkness with a hint of scarlet outside the window signaled that dawn was arriving soon. Maybe a little shut-eye? The smallest bit? I'll try. As Slumberland finally came crawling by, a harsh knock on the door snapped me out of those few seconds of rest. Yup, that's a mood. I've had nights like that. It sucks. Room 309, it's time to wake up. Ah, come on! Ah, Bella. The door opened, revealing a nurse with a push-button phone for a head. The second day with no visible change to the head in front of me proves I'm gonna be here for a while, huh? Lovely. Just absolutely fucking lovely. Acevedo, Jones, Kent, Priscilla, Randall, Dorothy, Manson. Oh, it's got its own little opening sequence. I love it. I love it. It's got its own little opening. I love that. Oh, Jones. Such a little handsome boy. I love that. I absolutely love it.